Episode 68, 5-1 Comedy Movies. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 5-1. 5-1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each episode. Today, we are featuring the best comedy movies in our style of counting down from
5-1.
You guys recognize this song?
What is
Yes.
love?
Yeah.
It's my suggestion. Of course, I'd recognize it.
What movie is it from?
Night at the Roxbury.
That's right. Jet, are you okay to record tonight?
Yeah?
All right. You seem kind of, I don't know, not yourself. Feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, Kate, put your phone down, and we can get started. Before we get much further, we should probably introduce our panel of comedy movie experts. I am Chris, and I'm joined by my two hilarious sons,
Cade Moore.
my 15-year-old,
I am Jet.
my 12-year-old, and we are...
5-1.
So we are nearing the end of the summer, and you guys are about to go back to school. Are you ready for school to start, or are you kind of dreading it?
I'm dreading it.
I'm ready.
Okay, we got mixed answers there. Why are you dreading it, Cade?
I'm gonna miss just like sleeping in every day.
You don't really do that, though.
I don't
You
even
wake
do
up at
that,
like
yeah.
6 and go to your performance course workouts every morning.
Well, I'm just gonna miss not having to do much after that.
Okay. And Jet, you're ready? Are you bored?
No, not really. I'm just happy for school. It seems fun. Middle school?
Yeah, you're going into 7th grade. You ready for middle school?
Yes.
Cade, you're going into 10th
Sixth.
grade. No,
Oh.
10th, which is weird for me because when I was a young kid, I had a best friend that lived down the street, and his older sister was in 10th grade, and I was like amazed that the grades went up that high.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of it. I don't think much of it like that. Probably since I'm like in it, I don't think much of it. But
It's weird for me as your father that you're going into 10th grade, but you're almost there, and I guess we should just get onto our lists. Do you guys have any rules for your lists?
it had to be a comedy movie.
Okay.
Couldn't have been any other kind of movie.
Well, I know you're being silly when you say that, but I kind of had a similar rule. Like, I've done this on other lists. Like, if we went to Blockbuster, if you guys don't know what Blockbuster is, if we went
Blockbuster Video?
to a movie, yes, Blockbuster Video, a movie rental place, and the movie, Die Hard, for example, has funny moments in it, but it wouldn't be in the comedy section. It would be
Exactly.
in the action section.
Yeah.
So if the movie, for me, didn't qualify as a comedy movie at Blockbuster, I didn't include it, even if it was really funny.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. It's like it might be funny, but it's not like that's not the main point of the movie.
Yeah.
Was to be funny.
Exactly. So I left some off my list that...
The setup of your mic is hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I left some of them off my list that I thought were really funny, but I didn't think would be in the comedy section at Blockbuster.
Makes sense. That's what I was going for the first time I said it.
Yeah, I don't think you were. I think you were just trying to be goofy. All right, so let's just get on to our list then, right?
Yeah,
All right, Jet, what's your...
Wait,
Number 5.
shouldn't it go Cade?
yeah. I'm first.
Oh, sorry, Cade, what's your...
Number 5.
Night at the Roxbury.
Hey, we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
So it's Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, and it's based off of a Saturday Night Live skit.
It is.
Yeah,
I had not really.
yeah.
Wow.
It's
How old is Saturday Night Live?
It's been around since the 70s. Very old.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. I didn't put it on my list, but that is a very funny movie.
Yeah, I put it on my number 5. I had like 4 once I was like set to go with, and then
That's
I just like kind of needed a little more.
kind of like very early Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
before he kind of blew up as a major superstar. That was one of his first kind of... I might have been his first movie. I don't know. It was one of his first big movies.
Yeah, that was before he was in Red Hot Chili Peppers, wasn't it?
I don't know when he became the drummer for the Chili Peppers. All right, number 5, Night at the Roxbury. Anything else to add about that?
No, it's a good movie.
All right, Jet, what's your number 5?
Deadpool.
Okay, so this is exactly one that I was thinking
This is
of.
a superhero movie
This
for
counts
me.
as
It's an action
comedy
movie.
I mean, it's very, very funny. So I understand that it's a funny comedy however, to
This
me,
is not a regular superhero movie whatsoever.
agreed, it's not a regular superhero movie. But if you were to say, is it a superhero movie or a comedy movie, which would you say?
Comedy.
Okay, well, not me. I would say it's a superhero movie.
I would say this is a superhero movie.
But it is not my list. It's your list, so I don't. You can interpret as you wish. So you put this as your number 5. Deadpool 1 or 2 or both or what?
Kind of the same. Probably 1.
Yeah, they're both really funny. I guess I was surprised at how funny it was when I first saw it. It is a very funny movie.
Deadpool 2, also funny.
Yeah,
That was a really funny one.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that one.
I agree. Okay, good choice, Jet. Anything else to add about Deadpool?
No.
All right, for mine, I have little quotes, and you guys can guess based on the quote what my movie is. They're really easy.
Can't believe we drove around all day and there's not a single job in this town. There is nothing, nada, zip.
Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
For real?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
I knew it right away.
Came out in 1994. I had 2 movies that I really wanted to put on my list, and I almost left them both off because I figured you guys would have both of them, and this was one of them. But in the end, I couldn't leave this one off. It's so stupid, but it's so funny, and it's Jim Carrey at his very best, I think. I read when I was looking up stuff for this list, I read somewhere that he had 3 movies in that year, 1994, that went straight to the number 1 in the box office, and
In
this was
one
one
year?
of them. Yeah, it was.
Is that a record?
Yes,
That's
it
gotta be
was.
a record,
It was
yeah.
at the time. It was Ace Ventura. I think maybe The Mask. I can't remember what the second one was, and then Dumb and Dumber. All went straight to number 1 in the box office in that year. I watched this with my friend and loyal listener Lane probably like 100 times in high school. We watched this one and The Neverending Story all the time. And I think I use movie quotes for this movie probably more than any other movie in real life. Like, for example, if you're naming things that went wrong with your day, I might end it with, our pets' heads are falling off. Or when I have an awkward conversation that needs to end, I'll say, whoa, big gulps, huh? All right, well, see you later. And things like that. It just always often presents an opportunity to use a quote from this movie in real life conversations. One interesting fact about Dumb and Dumber, you know the scene where they scam Seabass into paying for the bill at the restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay. They say in the movie, Lloyd says, "Oh, I saw it in a movie." Do you remember that? And Harry was like, "Oh, what happened in the movie?" And he's like, "Oh, it was a good one. They caught up later and slit their throats
Yeah,
or
I
whatever."
thought that scene was so cool. Like,
Okay.
and clever.
Well, that scene, the movie that he's referring to when he says he saw it in a movie is called Something Wild from 1986. And the guy who pulls off the scam in that movie, Something Wild, is Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is Harry from Dumb and Dumber.
Wow.
Wow.
Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Dumb and Dumber is my number 5. All right, Cade, what is your...
Number 4.
Wait, number 4? Oh, it was Dumb and Dumber 2.
Dumb and Dumber 2?
No. Dumb and Dumber, like, also, like, that was my number.
I was like, because Dumb and Dumber 2 is ridiculously bad.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, like, let's just roll into mine, but then I forgot. I zoned out.
Okay, so Dumb and Dumber is also yours as number 4. Do you have anything to add about it?
This is definitely one of, like, I say people's popular pick for their favorite comedy movie.
It did make the top 5 for listener choices.
Like, when I ask my friends, like, comedy movies that they like, usually
Yeah.
their number 1 pick is Dumb and Dumber.
It's one of those movies. It's like you wouldn't think that it would have kind of a lasting impact or that it would hold up over time because
Yeah.
it is really stupid.
Yeah.
But it somehow does. Like to me, Ace Ventura was Jim Carrey's like big movie. Doesn't really stand the test of time as well. Like it's overplayed or played out or
Yeah.
isn't as funny. Or maybe not as rewatchable. I don't know. Like Dumb and Dumber, I could watch it a million times and it's still funny to me 20 years later. It's 25 years later. So, all right, Jet, what's your number 4?
I have Anchorman.
Anchorman, another Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, I like the scene where he eats cat poo.
What?
He eats cat poo.
Oh, that was really hard to understand. Okay, I don't remember that scene.
Huh? He's at a restaurant, and you know how everyone hates him, right? Because
Yeah.
he said, "Go F yourself."
Uh-huh.
And the waiter asks, like, he wants something, and he says, "You can have cat
Yeah.
poo." Yeah. And then he ends up actually giving him it, and he ends up just eating it, and he's like, "Don't actually eat it," and he just keeps on eating it.
Oh, You know, I've seen this movie once or twice, and it was a long time ago, and I remember thinking it was really funny, but I haven't watched it again since then.
Huh.
But it is a good pick, and it was another popular choice for listener choices. Stay classy, San Diego. All right, Cade, you already did yours. See, we're sitting in weird spots now.
I know,
got to
yeah.
get used to this. All right. I'll switch you guys next time.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4, I have a clip.
We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
You know the movie?
No, I can't think of it. No.
It's I Love You, Man.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
Oh, Jet,
You always talk
I
about this
haven't
one.
seen it.
you've seen parts of it, haven't you?
I've seen parts, yeah.
It's from 2009. It's Paul Rudd and what's his name? Jason Segel, I think. Anyways, Paul Rudd is like really funny, awkward in that scene and in other scenes. That's why I picked that one in that clip. He's like relatable to me and likable as an actor in pretty much everything he does. But this is one of my favorite movies of his. I love the bromance aspect of it. It's really funny. Fun fact about this movie, they play a lot of Rush in this movie. Paul Rudd and Jason Segel, I don't remember their characters' names, but they both like Rush and they like playing. So Paul Rudd plays the bass. It's slapping the bass, man. You remember that part?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, they play a lot of Rush in this movie, and there's a Rush concert at the very end in the movie. And they came in I think they performed at the guy's wedding or something. And in real life, Rush performed an hour-long set for the cast for that scene.
An hour long? I
Hour
already know
long.
they do like really freaking long songs.
Yeah, an hour-long
like-
show for the cast, crew, and diehard fans that found out about the performance through online and radio buzz. So that's kind of cool. You're going to love this episode, Jet. All
I
right.
think you should amplify it.
Yeah, it's already...
Like, I want you to make it like overly loud and annoying.
Jet
and
already
obnoxious.
cringes every time I play it. All right, Cade, what's your...
Number 3.
Zoolander.
Okay, this is Ben Stiller.
Yes.
Also Will Ferrell.
Yes.
He's making a lot
Will
of
Ferrell
them.
has made like already on this list like most of the top picks. Most of the picks already.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
He's
been
in
in
like
most of them. But this isn't a Will Ferrell movie. This is a Ben Stiller movie.
Yeah.
He's just also in it.
I love this movie.
It is funny. It is a funny movie.
It's even funny when sad things happen, like when his like friends died.
At the gas station. Yeah. They're having like a gasoline fight.
Yeah, which is already like what? And then like I light the cigarette.
Is this a school for ants? That's my favorite part.
And they go to Starbucks and they get what was it?
It's orange something
Frappuccino or something
yeah.
gross like that. And they all say at the same time, like, let's go get orange vanilla frappuccino, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a funny movie. Jet used to do the Blue Steel look. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I have a video of it somewhere. It's really funny. Sweet. Okay, so that's your number 3. Anything else to add about Zoolander?
I was gonna say another thing. Oh, it was one of the first like comedy movies I watched, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm pretty sure it was one of like the first ones.
It probably
I watched.
was. Yeah, we watched that one pretty early on. That one and A Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, I think we watched those two in the same night. I'm pretty sure.
We might have, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
choice. Okay. All right, Jet, what's your number 3?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Okay, this is Mike Myers. You and I watched this not too long ago.
Yeah. This is one of the most craziest movies I've ever seen. I mean, there's 3 endings in it, and it's
Yeah.
kind of insane. I kind of like it for that reason.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's a classic movie. It's also a Saturday Night Live skit based off Saturday Night Live. And Mike Myers kind of started his movie career. He had a bunch of famous movies after that. But I liked Garth better than
Oh
Wayne.
yeah, Garth is a lot better than Wayne.
Yeah. Cade, you haven't seen
I
it,
haven't seen
have
this
you?
one. No.
This one is for me is one that doesn't hold up as much. I remember really liking it when I was younger, and then when we watched it, Jed, I thought it was still funny, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add about Wayne's World?
No.
Okay.
Moving on.
Oops, I dropped my pen.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on. You haven't said that in a while.
I just did.
All right, my turn for number 3. I have a clip. I'll play it here in a second, but I'll tell you the movie first because I know you guys haven't seen it. It's called Wet Hot American Summer. Have you heard of it?
No.
No.
Okay. It came out in 2001. It's another Paul Rudd movie, actually. It's one of his very early roles. He was very young in it. It's very weird and...
How old is Paul Rudd now?
I don't know. He still looks the same.
Yeah,
he might
looks
be
like
90
30.
and he looks like he's 30. He hasn't really aged. This movie is a really weird kind of funny. I think Cade would really like it. Jed, I'm not quite sure, but I would want to watch it with you anyways. I call it kind of a cult classic, but it gained enough traction to warrant its own follow-on Netflix series. And in fact, I think it has 2 follow-on Netflix series. It takes place in the early 80s, and it's basically about the last day of a summer camp, and there's like kids and the counselors, and it follows like the counselors and trying to kind of wrap everything up. It's just really weird, but I couldn't stop laughing. It's definitely not a family comedy movie. In fact, it was the site where it was filmed was called Camp Tawanda, and the owners were told it was a family comedy. And then when they actually saw it came out, they were mortified. Like, this is not what they were told. It was also super low budget. In fact, Paul Rudd later said that he wasn't even sure if he ever got paid to be in the movie. He couldn't remember. The budget and the production staff were so incredibly small that he thinks they just overlooked making out his check for his salary. It has a lot of actors that are super famous now that they weren't when it came out, like Paul Rudd, Christopher Maloney, Amy Poehler, and Bradley Cooper. I do have a clip, and I want to play it because it's really funny, but it's like 45 seconds long. It's at the very end of the movie, and they're kind of sitting around talking about how they want to come back and meet in 10 years, since it's the last day of summer camp.
You guys, I'm really gonna miss this place.
Me too.
Hey, let's all promise that in 10 years from today, we'll meet again, and we'll see what kind of people we've blossomed into.
Yeah!
What time you want to meet?
You mean 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Let's meet in the morning so we can make a day of it.
Okay, so what is it? Is it like 9 or 9:30?
Well, let's say 9. That way we can be here by 9:30.
Well, no, why don't we say 9:30 and then make it your beeswax to be here at 9:30? I mean, we're all going to be in our late 20s by then. I just don't see any reason why we can't be places on time.
Okay, then. Settled. 9:30 it is. All agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Great.
Because I have something at 11.
So they're talking about how they're going to meet in 10 years, and they pick like a very specific time. And the guy's like, okay, good, because I have something at 11. And I wish it had played the rest of that clip on YouTube. After that, he goes, I have something at 11, and I can't change it because I've already moved it twice. So stupid.
Fun fact of
I
the
wanna watch this
week,
movie.
Yeah, it's really
Paul
funny.
Rudd's first movie role is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh, that's right. I think you talked about that when we did horror movies.
And yes, Paul Rudd's a great actor, but he doesn't really fit in a horror movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward to see him.
I could see that.
How young was he?
He was pretty young. I have no idea how young.
Probably a kid.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he's 16 or something.
Oh, a teenager? Okay. Interesting.
Halloween 6?
Yes, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Is that one a good one?
It's highly debatable.
We'll save that for another episode. All right, Cade, what's your...
Number 2.
Talladega Nights.
Me too.
Oh, okay. This is the one I left off my list.
What?
I know. All right, talk about Talladega Nights.
This movie is like... It's arguably one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It might be the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, this movie... I don't know. I always thought, like, as a kid, like, Dumb and Dumber was, like, my favorite movie because it was just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw this, and I was like, this is, like, actually more funny than Dumb and Dumber.
I think it might be. Jet, why is it your number 2?
Same reasons.
Yeah, it's super funny. I left it off my list because my other 4 movies I thought would be unique to my list, and Dumb and Dumber and Talladega Nights, I knew you guys would have them.
Okay.
So I ended up putting Dumb and Dumber on my list because I've seen it like so many times I couldn't leave it off.
Yeah.
It's kind of an important movie
Is
to
that
me in some
truly your
ways.
favorite comedy movie?
I haven't gotten to my number 1 yet. I had it as my number 5. Talladega Nights, I think, Cade, you're probably right. It's probably funnier than Dumb and Dumber. I laugh a lot when I see this movie, like audibly laugh, and it doesn't really get old to me. It's another stupid, funny movie.
And it, like, mocks everything like big superstars do when they get famous.
True.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, good choice for your number 2. Jet, that's your number 2. We'll go to mine. I have a clip for this one. It's super easy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Major League.
Major League came out in 1989. As I've mentioned before on this show, I've seen this movie probably more than I've seen any movie ever. It's up there with Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, for a number of repeat viewings for me. Maybe Dumb and Dumber might be in that category too, but not in recent years. This movie is like the perfect blend for me of feel-good nostalgia from the 80s, a comedy that's still funny, still works, and a realistic baseball compelling storyline, like a sports movie would have too. To me, the comedic star of the movie is clearly the broadcaster, Harry Doyle. He's my favorite character. He's played by real-life Milwaukee Brewers broadcaster and also an actor from things like Mr. Belvedere, Bob Uecker, and most of the memorable lines come from him. Who's your favorite character, Jet?
Well, it always has been Ricky Vaughn, but recently it's kind of a tie with him and the main character, Jake.
Jake Taylor?
Because Jake, I realized now that, I kind of understand movies more.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of complex, like this confliction. It's kind of conflict, sorry. It's really interesting with him and his wife in a comedy movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like it.
Okay, have you really seen Major League?
Yeah, I have. I remember watching it when you guys watched it first.
Yeah.
And you guys both fell asleep. It was like we watched a movie all together because we wanted to see a movie, and then you guys put that on to go to sleep too, and I watched it then after that.
Okay, so who's your favorite character?
I can't name the characters.
Yeah,
but
you're probably not familiar enough. I mean, the main character you have.
I was like about to fall asleep.
Jake Taylor and Ricky Vaughn, and there's
Pedro
Serrano.
I got mad at Pedro because everyone turned good and only had one good hit at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the next movie, he sucks and he has one good hit at the end of the movie.
Yeah, true.
I like the spiritual black guy.
That's Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite.
And there's Willie Mays Hayes. That's Wesley Snipes, the fast guy. Yeah. Fun fact about this movie: the director chose Bob Uecker, who played Harry Doyle, the broadcaster, for the role based on his acting work in Mr. Belvedere and from Miller Lite commercials. It wasn't until after the fact that he had already hired him that he learned that Bob Uecker had been the real broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers for 20 years before the movie was even filmed. So there's some more fun facts. Okay. All right, moving on. Cade, what's your
number one?
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, nice. Okay.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Both of you had the same number two and number one. Okay. I Spaceballs was an honorable mention for me. Why is it your number one?
Well, I love Star Wars.
Me
right?
too.
So anything related to Star Wars, I'm probably gonna love.
Me too.
Right? And then coming into the movie, I was thinking man, this is Star Wars, but it's funny Star Wars. I'm gonna really like this movie.
Yeah.
And then it was also really funny.
Yeah.
And I remember I was laughing for 10 minutes. In the first 10 seconds of the movie, I was laughing for that was the funniest part of the movie.
When the ship is
ridiculously super long.
Yeah.
And the music's going on nah, 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 nah. It just keeps going.
You guys used to watch Spaceballs a lot. This might be the first comedy movie you've
I'm
seen.
pretty sure it is.
Because you guys used to watch this a lot. Like the song. How many times have you seen Spaceballs? A lot. Didn't really fit. Yeah, it's and the thing with this movie is that it's got really obvious jokes that kind of hit you over their head, and then it has more kind of layered ones, and the layered ones are really funny. And this came up recently. You guys came to Bring Your Child to Work Day earlier this week, and they gave you guys a software demo. We can't really talk about what it was about, but it had something to do with jamming frequencies, and we kept saying jammed.
We've been jammed. It's like strawberry jam, a giant jar of it flies into the satellite,
and then it drips down the monitor.
The guy's sir, we've been jammed. I see that.
I like the part when he says comb the desert, and then it shows the guys up, and they've got a giant comb.
I remember I know this movie was really funny, but when I was younger and I used to watch it, I actually thought it was an amazing, an actual Star Wars movie. It's part of the saga.
Oh, you thought it was part of Star Wars?
I thought it was a sequel.
Yeah, you were really young when we started watching this. That's funny. Oh, good choice for both you guys. That surprises me that you both had it number one. All right, anything else to add about Spaceballs?
It's the best comedy movie of all time.
I like the part where the lightsabers entwine like a pretzel. It looks cool.
It does look cool. I see your Schwartz is bigger than mine. All right, my number one, I don't think you guys have seen. It's Groundhog Day. Have you ever seen Groundhog Day?
No, but I know it has
a groundhog?
Yeah, and it looks really fake.
Yeah.
Really fake.
So it's Bill Murray. You know who Bill Murray is, right?
Yes.
Venkman.
Yeah, he's Venkman. And it came out in 1993. To me, Bill Murray, and this is a bold claim because Bill Murray is always great, but this is my favorite movie from Bill Murray. It's at his comedic peak, I think. He's playing a weatherman that's covering the Groundhog Day results, and he gets stuck reliving the same day over and over again. He's caught in a loop. That's the basic premise of the movie. But only he knows that. Like, he wakes up and relives the same day every day. Nobody else
Didn't they do,
realizes.
like, a horror movie recently about this?
Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day, yeah.
And Happy Death Day 2U, which is the recent
Sequel.
one that came out, yeah.
Well, fun fact about this movie, he learns how to do lots of things during his loop that he's stuck in, and like playing the piano and ice sculpting and things like that. So it leaves one to wonder, like, how long was he stuck in this loop? And the movie never says, like, it never even really shows, like, it's only a 2-hour movie or whatever. So you just kind of left guessing. If you were to ask me after watching this movie a few times, I would have said maybe a few months or a year, like, that'd be a really long time to be stuck in this
same
loop.
day.
So the director was Harold Ramis. Jet, you know who Harold Ramis is? He's Egon from Ghostbusters.
Oh, he's also is he the guy from The Thing also? Wait, Egon?
The best Ghostbuster?
No. Huh?
He hasn't done very
Kurt
many movies.
Russell?
No, not Kurt Russell. That's not him.
Egon?
Egon from Ghostbusters, like the nerdy
The best
one.
Ghostbuster. Yeah.
Oh, then why did I mention The Thing?
I don't know. I thought maybe he was a side character.
Oh,
or
I was
something.
thinking of Ego from...
Oh, no. Egon from Ghostbusters. Anyway, so that's another Bill Murray connection. Harold Ramis said after that the original idea was for Phil, the main character, to relive the same day for 10,000 years.
Whoa.
But he said that he probably lived the same day for about 10 years, which is still a really long time. So that's forever to me.
10,000 years? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool if they did that.
Do you guys have any?
That'd be horrible, actually.
You talked over my bumper.
Sorry.
It would be horrible. Do you guys have any?
Honorable mention.
I, in fact, do have honorable mentions.
Okay, let's hear it.
My first one is Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
That was one of the first ones I saw, too.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Okay.
That one was stupid. But it was, like, sad and, like, gory at some parts. When the guy steps in the landmine, he just blows into pieces.
I still haven't seen Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
I have.
It's funny. And Fanboys.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Another Star Wars parody.
I didn't want to have two Star Wars movies on the same
list. Yeah. Not as funny as Spaceballs.
Yeah, not as funny as Spaceballs.
But, yeah, it is a funny movie. Jed, did you have any honorable mentions?
My favorite part from that movie, sorry.
That's fine.
Was when he goes to meet his online girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And he's labeled as, like, white chocolate. And then he comes in, she's, like, 12 or something.
Yes.
He takes off his glasses, he can, like, barely see her.
Yeah. Jed, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I have Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
And then the main actor, it's another movie called Superbad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depressing at some parts for a comedy movie.
Mm-hmm. It's a funny movie, though.
Two friends, like, drift away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty funny.
It is. That's a good choice.
The only reason why I didn't put it on my list is because I haven't seen the full thing.
Ah, gotcha. All right, any others?
No.
All right, I had Ferris Bueller. That's a funny one. You remember Ferris Bueller?
Yeah. Is that a comedy, though?
I think so. You could also call it a coming-of-age movie, but I think it's more of a comedy. I had Coming to America. It's an old Eddie Murphy movie. Pitch Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Beverly Hills Cop. Big is another one that's more of a coming-of-age movie.
I was going to choose Big, but then I didn't. I searched it up, and it didn't say comedy. It was like action, or not action, adventure.
I would call it, coming-of-age. But it probably wouldn't be in the comedy section at Block. I don't know. Maybe it would be. Talladega Nights, of course. Mallrats. I had a bunch of other ones. I don't even want to mention them because there's too many. I will say...
Happy Gilmore.
Tommy Boy was another one that I had as an honorable mention.
Happy Gilmore is also one of mine.
Oh, that's a good one, too. And Billy Madison. Two good Adam Sandler movies. All right. Cade, what did you have for...
The worst?
I had Dumb and Dumber 2.
So is this Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and Dumber 2 where it's Lloyd and Harry again, but like the same actors?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was another one that was even worse.
There's another one?
Yeah. It was
really?
In between. Yeah, it was called Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it's a horrible name for a movie. Oh my gosh. Even for a movie that's meant to be stupid, that's just bad.
They were both bad. Neither one was good. So I can buy that.
Lloyd was like in a wheelchair, unable to speak or move for like 30 years.
Yes.
And then he's like, by the way, dude, you should have seen your face.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's like, what?
Because the first one, is stupid, but it's not like unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, like things that happen in the movie could happen in your life, but
Right.
like,
Yeah, that's just dumb.
a 30-year prank where you're crippled.
Yeah.
Like,
fooled you. All right, Jet, what do you have for your worst?
Well, it's kind of weird. I have Adam Sandler bad movies. If you want me to name some, I can. For
Okay.
example, The Ridiculous Six, Jack and Jill, Murder Mystery. Yeah.
I don't even know those movies.
I know Jack and Jill. I haven't
The
seen it.
Do-Over. That's it.
I mean, I will say that a lot of really famous comedy actors, after they are kind of done with their run of hits, have a string of bad movies. It's not just Adam Sandler. Like
yeah,
Steve
but that's,
Martin and
that's
Will
the
Ferrell.
main one that comes to mind.
I think Will Ferrell is still going.
No,
He's still in-
Daddy's
Actually,
Home.
I saw
I mean, not all of them.
Get Hard. That one was funny with Kevin Hart.
Yeah. But like Eddie Murphy did the same thing. He hasn't had a good movie in a long time. But he had a string of really good movies. Steve
Yeah.
Martin's the same way. Chevy Chase. A lot of like famous comedy actors. I don't know. It's like
My main one is
they try to change things up and it doesn't work. I don't know what it is.
the Netflix original. This is my worst, is with Adam Sandler and Rachel. What's her name? Jennifer Aniston.
Oh yeah.
They had a new Netflix original, and I watched it, and it was really bad.
They had a movie that was not a Netflix movie come out not that long
Isn't it
ago.
like? Is it the one that's like always on TV?
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
on TV. And it's like, I think like both of them have stepkids and they end up at the same resort or
Resort,
something.
yeah,
and they have
I
to like
remember.
pretend that they're married, but then they really fall in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I don't think that one's horrible. I think people actually like that one. I don't know.
Mine's different.
Different. All right, my worst, you guys might remember I really railed on Monty Python not that long ago. So that was the initial one that came to mind. But since I've already picked it, I'm going to go with Austin Powers. You guys seen Austin Powers before?
I have.
I've heard of it.
It came out when I was in high school, and it is a funny movie. But I got really tired of people. Like people just always impersonated him in that movie, like all the time, and it just got to the point where it really grated on me, and now it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm gonna go with Austin Powers as the worst because it gets on my nerves. All right, moving on to listener choices. We asked social media what's the best comedy movie of all time, and we got a lot of responses. The results showed that the number 5 comedy movie all time, Dumb and Dumber,
Expected.
tied for second, third, and fourth. 3-way tie.
This happens all the time.
I know. Anchorman. It happens when we have a category where you could have like literally like a billion different responses.
Okay,
As
yeah.
opposed to one where you could have like 10 or
Yeah.
whatever. So, anyways, Anchorman, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and The Big Lebowski all tied for second, third, and fourth. And the number 1 comedy movie of all time, according to our listeners, is Step Brothers.
Okay.
Another Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
And it's also Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, who is also in Talladega Nights. They make a pretty funny comedic duo.
They have a lot of movies
A lot of
together.
people like this movie.
Step Brothers is really good. I would say it's my second favorite Will Ferrell movie after Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your listener choices. I guess we should probably move on to the
Pew, pew, pew,
good
pew,
Glenn Solomon fun fact of the week.
pew, pew, pew,
Good.
pew.
Except that I gave you fun facts for each one of my choices, so leave me alone.
That's true.
I turned my volume off for that one.
No, did you really? Did you turn it off for this one? And he looks down at his phone. It's time for Jet's Pun of the Week. All right, bro. You got something for me?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Great. Who's there?
Yodelehi. Yodelehi.
Are you kidding me? Yodelehi who?
I didn't know you could yodel. Wait, I have another one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo?
It was just a joke. Don't cry.
Jet, for real? Listen.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Actually, this was not that funny. I'm not going to say it.
Okay. I have a backup one in case you didn't come up with one.
I came up with some.
Came up with some.
I'm super friendly with 25 letters of the alphabet. I just don't know why.
Oh,
That one's good. That one's clever.
searched it up.
Of course I did.
I made
Can
mine
you say
up.
yours weren't searched up?
Yours are like the most obvious knock knock jokes ever. Okay, we got a new review on iTunes, and it came from listener Anna. who said, I love listening to this podcast with my son. Considering we spend a third of our day in the car 5 times a week, it's refreshing to share laughs with my kid. This podcast also encourages my son to debate. And then she put a laugh emoji. Anna, thank you so much for the review. We love getting those. And I actually really love to hear that you share this with your son. It kind of warms my heart because it's it's something I share with my boys. So very cool and very, very, very thankful for your review.
Thank you. Anna?
Yes.
Anna, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
T.Y.
Well, anything else to add before I wrap up? Thank you to everybody for taking the time to listen. Please check out our Facebook page, 5 to 1 Podcast. Same with Instagram and Twitter and everywhere you want to look for us. We are 5 to 1 Podcast. And give us your opinions there. Give us ideas for new shows and all of that kind of fun stuff. Please also, like Anna, take the time to give us a review on iTunes. We welcome all feedback, especially good feedback. You can also call us at 469-607-5 to 1. That's 469-607-5861. Hey, Jet. Please join us next time on 5 to 1 for our discussion on
Top 5 movie weapons.
Suggested by listener Matt. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you.